Hello, you love gangster, and welcome to another episode. Max here, and today I'm going to tell you exactly how to push yourself to start approaching women in public.
Excuse me, hi, hello. I saw you there and I thought you were pretty cute, so I wanted to say hello. You made me throw my cigarette away, and maybe thanks to you I will stop smoking. I think you look super cute, so I was like, I'm gonna say hello and see if maybe she's a nice person. Are you doing your shopping by yourself right now?
No, I just come out from my job and now I'm just hanging around. What?
Because to be honest with you, you looked a little bit lost or sad.
No problem. You're French?
I'm French. How did you guess?
The accent.
I'm going to give you a few tools to start putting yourself out there. This video is specifically for you if you have always been curious about the concept of a man approaching a woman in public, but you never really did it for yourself. Or maybe you did it a couple of times and eventually you stopped and now you can't start doing it again. Or maybe you really want to do it, but you're just too shy to get started. In fact, I am making this video after spending a night with a friend of mine who is very curious about what I do, that is to say, approaching women in public, but who always has some kind of excuse. So I thought to myself, what are all the things that I would tell this guy who is interested, obviously, in the fact that a man can talk to a woman that he likes in public, but who doesn't jump on the other side of the fence. In this video, I want to address this glass wall between you approaching women and you not approaching women, because in truth this is what it is. There is nothing preventing you from going for it, nothing tangible. All that's preventing you from going for it is in your mind, and we're going to address those things in this video. So let's get into it. First and foremost, I have to say it, you need to stop watching porn. It's very simple. If you find dopamine online for free, easily, and you can jerk off in 10 minutes, you will never find the motivation to go approach women in public. It's as simple as that. Like, your brain is going to rationalize, why would I do this uncomfortable thing if I know that I can just sit home and watch porn whenever I want? You need to be hungry. You need to be thirsty, like sexually thirsty, to go approach women that you like, because no matter what people say, you need to be sexually aroused by the women you talk to even find the motivation to talk to them, because otherwise, why would you talk to them? I'm gonna touch more on that later in this video, but the only good reason for you to approach a woman is because you find her sexually attractive. If you approach women because you need them, because you need a relationship, because you need anything from them, it's not gonna work. But more on that later. At the end of the day, it's very simple. If you stop watching porn and you stop jerking off, your brain is gonna start to find other ways for you to get off. That is to say, approaching women. The more you jerk off, the more you're gonna jerk off. But the less you jerk off to porn, the more you will be willing to approach women. My personal experience with this is that every time in my life when I stopped watching porn, within 7 days I was getting with a girl. So if you're watching porn a little bit too much to your taste, I recommend you try this. Don't watch any porn and don't masturbate for 7 days and see what happens. Now, I understand approaching women in public is a little bit scary, especially if you're out of the flow, out of momentum, or if you've never done that before. So when you start doing this, or when you restart doing this, you have to ease your way in. And yes, okay, you're gonna tell me it sounds silly, but it just works. So start, for example, by approaching girls and asking them for directions. Start by going to meetups and talk to people just for the sake of talking to people and being sociable. If you feel even a little bit confident, give a compliment to the girl you approach and then wish them a good day. You don't have to see approaching as your life being on the line and it's either you get the girl's contact and you're the man, or you get rejected and you're a piece of shit. No, just take it easy. It's about momentum. So once you feel a little bit better about this, it's good if you follow a structure. But then again, we're going to make this structure very simple, because I know there is a lot of information online. I know everyone has their own idea of what it means to be a PUA, and everyone has their own idea of the way one should go about approaching women and the structure and the model and the techniques. But again, if you're out of momentum, if you're on a dry spell, don't worry about all that. Make it very simple, and I'm going to give you a very simple step-by-step right now. It's probably not the most optimized, but it's definitely the simplest thing for you to apply without thinking too much and without being confused about anything. First you go and you say hello and you stop her. Then you give her a compliment and you tell her why you're there. Then you ask about her immediate whereabouts. What is she up to right now? You keep stacking and you make conversation about that for 5 to 10 minutes. After a bit, you tell her that you've got to go and you propose to her to get a coffee with you at a later point in time. If she says yes, you get her contact. And that's it. Very, very simple. Now, of course, this goes way deeper, and by the way, if you're curious about that, you can join the mastermind. I'm going to put a link below this video. There is a complete structure, many things that you can do to optimize your interaction, to get girls to understand that you're actually super cool and super attractive. But again, for now, we are just putting ourselves out there and we want to keep it simple. If you do this regularly, the more you do it, the easier it gets. And the easier it gets because you get used to it, you can deal with the pressure, the social pressure better, the more space you free up in your mind to add on top of this simple structure, more advanced techniques. But you really need to make sure that you have the base structure, the fundamentals right. But then again, the more you do it, the more you're going to build up this social momentum, and it's going to feel better and better to do it again and again. And just like watching porn and jerking off, the more you approach people, the easier it is to approach people. The less you approach people, the harder it is to approach people. Really see your social side as a muscle. The more you work it out, the easier it is to use it again. The less you work it out, well, the harder it is to approach people. It's really what it's about with social anxiety. The more you approach, the easier it is to go through anxiety. The less you approach, the harder it is to go through anxiety. And so that's why the hardest approach is always the first one. What the fuck? Next, and probably the most important thing in this entire video, you need to get out of social conditioning. And in general, you really need to understand that what you're doing is outside the norm, and that's okay, because nobody cares. Nobody gives a shit. Yesterday, for example, I went out to the clubs with a guy who, every time I encouraged him to go approach, he will give me excuses. Oh no, she's with a large group of people. Oh, I can't walk back and forth there because people are going to see me approach girls and they are going to think I'm weird. Oh no, I can't approach this girl because there's a guy next to her and he might be angry with me. It's like, bro, at some point, like, who gives a shit? But I understand it's difficult to get in that mindset if you're not used to it. So for now, I want you to just get okay, become okay with the idea that people are going to watch you and judge you for doing that, and it's absolutely okay. Nobody gives a shit. Actually, you should see approaching women as you being the center of the attention because you're doing something cool that everyone is scared to do. But that's the thing. When you stand out and start doing things that most people can't do, you get people to praise you, but you also get people to be super jealous of you because they can't do it. The point is, you're gonna make waves if you start going for what you want. So again, get okay with that fact. If you want good results, you can't stay a sheep in the herd. You have to become a wolf. And I know this is difficult. Maybe you're watching this video and you're thinking, but I don't want to have people look at me. I don't want to stand out. I just want to be safe in my safe zone, my safe space, without people criticizing me or without people looking at me or without having the random guy walk up to me and tell me that I suck because I approach women. Well, bro, at the end of the day, it is what it is and you can't do anything about it. You can just decide whether or not this is something that you can cope with. On one hand, you get to sleep with beautiful girls often, but on the other hand, there are some people who are gonna criticize you and judge you. Is it for you? That's not for me to tell you, but I can tell you that it's totally worth it. But anyways, most of the time, nobody really cares about it. Yes, you're gonna stand out. Yes, some people are gonna notice you. But for most people, I mean, if people see you approach 10 minutes later, they are going to completely have forgotten about you already. And so this is why earlier I was talking about the fact that you put a glass barrier between you and meeting more girls. All those excuses and limiting beliefs, such as people are going to see it, they are going to dislike it, they are going to think I'm weird, or maybe the girl is not gonna like me because she looks like the type of girls who doesn't like the guys like me, or I can't approach this girl because she's probably gonna reject me, so I have to approach her in this weird, strange, different way. All those things, all those excuses, all those limiting beliefs are just that. It's just air. It doesn't exist. It only exists in your mind. And I know, and I can say that because I have been there. I have been the guy with very low SMV. I have been the guy with very bad game. And I made it work by choosing to ignore those limiting beliefs. And the funny thing is that the more you ignore those limiting beliefs, the more you go for it, the more you realize it doesn't matter and the better you get at it. Like literally the way to improve your SMV and the way to improve your game is to ignore your limiting beliefs and your self-limitations and to go for it. You're not gonna cut corners into meeting women. This is also, by the way, why all the PUA techniques don't work, because it's just about cutting corners. But that's another topic. You can watch my video on the matter if you want. But at the end of the day, the more you make the conscious decision to not give a fuck and to go for it, the more you grow, the more you learn. So again, get okay with the fact that you're gonna have to step out of your comfort zone and do things that you're not comfortable doing. You know how entrepreneurs talk about non-entrepreneurs as civilians? Well, with game, it's pretty much the same thing. When you know game, people who don't know game, you see them as civilians because you're not like them anymore. And again, you have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with the fact that from now on, you are a little bit socially different and it's going to get people to see you and to look at you. And maybe again, some will like it, some will dislike it, but you have to be okay with that fact. As long as you're not okay with that fact, you're never gonna be able to approach. Or when you will do it here and there, you will feel super cringe and super uncomfortable, and then you will quickly stop. Once you become okay with the fact that you're doing something a little bit socially different, well, it becomes way easier. Another way to go for it and to ignore this social conditioning is to have a strong why. Why do you approach? Why do you go for what you want? A very simple and easy way to find this why is to look at what frustrates you. Are you upset that your dating life sucks? Are you upset that you don't get what you want? Are you upset that all the pretty girls, they go with everyone but you? Are you upset that when you talk to girls, they look at you like you're weird, like, ew, why do you talk to me? Are you upset that when you say hello to a girl, she doesn't even give you the time of the day and she just gives you the shoulder? She turns immediately as soon as you say hello. Well, I know I was damn upset about these things when I started, but anyways, then you learn, then you move on, and you use this fire, this frustration to fuel that fire inside of you and to actually go for what you want. This is what some people call emotional leverage. It's when the pain of staying in your current situation is stronger than the pain of changing your situation. Trying to find that pain inside of you, it can really help you find this why that will help you push you through your comfort zone. Anyways, that's pretty much all I have for today. We go deeper on those concepts in the VIP Mastermind group. Again, I'm gonna put a link below this video. If you enjoyed this video, well, consider leaving a like, subscribe, tell me what you thought about it in the comments below, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.